Yeah,
Yeah. Anyway,
for sure.
yes. So the practice here is that can I watch without judgment, without any condition, without getting into the Dhamma topic or whatever it is. Just let's say I'm able to do it. If I'm able to do that, what it will do to me? It will do two things to me. One, the Manasikara gets into the Yoniso Manasikara because now it just attention is locked here in the whole. That's it. In the whole. Not my whole, your whole, or whatever it is, just the whole, right? If the Manasikara goes till there, and then automatically the Sati starts to follow. Because wherever Manasikara is there, Sati is going to follow. So, what I can do now is that the Sati has two things to it. One, awareness, and the second one is mindfulness. So, it has Sampajanya, which is mindfulness, and Pajanana, which is also there in that. So now what happens here, when I start the attention here, suddenly it loses the concept of nose, okay, or mouth. It just looks at the whole, which will, it automatically, that means the chitta knows it. You don't have to teach it. So that's the reason in the Mahavedala Sutta, he says that what is Vijnana? That which knows. And what it knows everything. It knows this is Sukha, this is Dukkha, this is Adukha, Sukha. It knows. So you can't teach it. Meaning you can't teach the eye to see. It knows to see. You can't teach the ear to hear. You are not teaching it. Hey, come on, hear it. No, it knows to hear. You can't teach a tongue, taste it. It knows it. So in the Kajaniya Sutta also what he says, what is Vijnana? He says that the taste, sweet taste, salt taste, bitter taste, all that taste. Why? Because it knows. That's the meaning of it. Okay. Now when I bring in this sati, watching, yes,
Yes, sir, I would like to leave now. I will get late otherwise. So I will leave. And if you can record this and upload it to YouTube, that would
it's
be
getting
great as well.
recorded. It's
So
getting
I can.
recorded. Yes, it's getting recorded. It will be on YouTube. You can listen.
Okay, great, great.
All right. Good
So
night. Take care.
yeah,
Good
good
Bye.
night.
night,
Good
and
night. Bye.
yeah, take care. Have a good day. And yeah, hello, Sachin. Yeah, nice to see you. And hi, Naveen. I mean, I am seeing him after a long time.
Yes, you are seeing most of them after a long time.
I mean, I talked with Sachin sir recently, but I mean, with Naveen, I haven't talked for I think maybe this whole year. Yeah.
Okay. Good.
So, anyways, yeah. Bye, everyone.
Bye
Yeah.
bye.
Good night.
Good
Have a good
night.
day.
Yep.
Bye today. Bye. Good night.
So coming back to the story, is that if I were to bring in that first thing is pajanana, awareness comes. You become aware of what? You become aware of the whole. That's the only thing. Not that you will become aware of something else. But that whole, once you become aware, it fills up the mind completely. Meaning the chitta is now having only the whole. It no longer has the mouth or the nose or the ear or anything like that. It just has a whole. When it sees a whole, it drops off the name and the form. So in the Maharahulavada Sutta, what he's trying to teach Rahula is to watch it without putting anything into it. That is, you can't say this is yesterday, today, tomorrow, this one, that one, any measurements. Just watch the whole. Just watch the Pathavi. Just watch the Apo. Just watch the Tejo. Like that. If I were to do that at that moment, the kilesas, the defilements which are there, the Kama Raga is replaced with the Nekkhamma. Because you can't hold on to the whole, right? Nobody likes the whole. Everybody likes the lips or the teeth or whatever. But when you know that is just a solid object, there is no thing there, it beats the illusion. So you get into Nibbidha. So in the Chitta, like I was talking about, so you are recording in the Chitta, what has got recorded is that this is beautiful. Now what you are recording in that place is that this is ugly. By showing it, watch the whole. Yes, go ahead.
I was just thinking that when we see a pig, we draw the face, we draw a big hole, and then we draw like a big nose. And that's the perception we have for the pig. So whenever there's a pig that's brought up, we always think of the nose because that's the representation. But in the human face, we don't bring that perception.
Yes.
So I suppose, so you start bringing that so the particular can be seen.
Yes. So somewhere you need to break it. Somewhere. That somewhere can be anywhere. So the whole idea is to break that mirage nature of perception. The nature of the mind is to go behind feeling and perception. Whatever we call as mind. In the chitta arises the perception and feeling. So it's samsatta. That means it's joined. It's not separated out. So that means whatever one knows, one feels, and whatever one feels, one perceives. And because there is perception, one again sees, and again one feels, and again one perceives. So again one knows, one feels, one perceives. Again one knows, one feels, one perceives. This is the cycle. You have to break it somewhere. How do you break it? You can break it through watching the sensations arising in the body. Easy to go, to begin with. Okay, I'll sit. Now I'm watching the breath. Then there's here on the head, something is moving. I'm taking that as the subject of meditation. So instead of watching the breath, I will watch this sensation because it is not going. I'll watch that. So what is that I'm trying to do? Again, I'm trying to do the same thing. What? The feeling what I'm getting here. So what it does? The focus comes here. Manasikara is here. And because I have the Manasikara, it has two portions. Now I'm creating a Yoniso Manasikara. Because attention is there. When I'm doing a Yoniso Manasikara, I am developing the Sati. So with Sati, what I do? I will become aware of the pain, of the heat, of that vibration, or whatever that is happening. Instead of sitting and scratching it off like this, which is removing that what was there, I am just watching it. Okay. Good. Oh, this is happening. Let me see what all happens due to that. After some time, it goes away, replaced by some other feeling, some other sensation appearing on the body. So I can use this ability to watch individual sensations as they arise on the body. So it's a fun, actually. It's a fun filled entertainment. So, what's the difference between that and this? They both are the same. But for that, you need to sit somewhere and do it. For this one, you can keep on doing whatever you're doing and yet be in that. That's a whole lot of a difference. So let's say I go to a retreat and I take the precept. What it does, it increases sati. So, Vipassana class when I go, or a retreat when I go, I am promising myself for the next 9 days or 10 days, I am not talking to anyone. So the clutter, if at all, is not there. And I'm in a conditioned environment, that means nobody can disturb me. Now what happens? Somewhere there is some feeling. So I'm watching the breath, tingling sensation here. It's so biting. You feel like taking the fingers and scratching it off. Now you'll bring in sati, which has sampajanya. That means it is mindful of this sensation. Because I am focusing on this sensation, the mindfulness gets created here. So it cuts off everything else and only keeps this sensation. I will use the sensation itself as an object of meditation. Like that, this one in that Chula Dasa, what he has written. You make that pain itself as a part of your meditation subject. It's correct. You make the hole itself as your meditation subject. You make the teeth itself as a meditation subject. You make the ear hole as a meditation subject. You take the bone as a meditation subject. You take whatever you want. You will ultimately get to the 5 dhatu. When you penetrate, now what is the meaning of penetration? That means in the chitta, yours gets scratched out. What gets scratched out? The original nama is getting scratched out and the rupa is going. So what should happen then? The chitta is pure anyway. It has no condition. On that, this has arrived, so it is going off. So now what happens? It gets the sati. So sati will bring in the awareness of mouth or that tingling sensation or some vibration or some pulsation or some heat or some cold or whatever that is bringing. So you just watch. Oh, heat. Now I can feel the whole body with heat. Everywhere it's very hot. Oh, this is sweat. It's not I am sweating. This is sweat. Sweat means water. So the water is coming. If I do like that, the meditation, then you are breaking. Once you break, the chitta knows that it is yoniso. In that, the light of wisdom falls. What light of wisdom? To see the thing as they are, not as they are presented. The nose is a presentation, whereas the whole is no presentation. Right? Now, when I get that, what happens? When I get that, it lets go of its impressions. So it becomes nibbida. So immediately, the chitta, what was holding that, when it goes away, it turns the raga into viraga. No coloring. It's not that I become viraga. It discoloration has happened. It's crashed out. So it was raga. It was having a color. That this is my nose. This is my teeth. This is my mustache. My ears. This is my tongue. This is my let's say chin. This is my neck. My t-shirt. Like that. Now there's no impression like that. So viraga has happened. So viraga, if it happens, there is cessation of what was earlier there, because there's no longer there anyway. It's gone. And because that is gone, now nirodha has happened. And nirodha happening is 100% peaceful. So etan santan, etan panitan can be experienced. This is peaceful, this is profound. Yadidam sabba sankhara samato. So now the sankharas are stopped. No preparations. What preparation? Preparation to see this hole as a nose. Preparation to see this beard, thinking that it's a black beard or a white beard, I should have black. Otherwise, my age will be known, I should be looking young, etc. etc. That's a preparation. Sabbupadi patini saggo. So now the asset making is not there. It's not an asset, it's in fact a liability. Right? So, upasamaya, now I am able to see with that light of wisdom, which is abhinya. I am seeing only the wholes. If I am seeing Aryu, it is whole. If Ashutosh were to come on video, it is a whole. If Naveen were to come, there's a whole. Sachin anyway is on the video. I just see the whole. A girl coming, I see a whole. Right? Or teeth, or whatever that is there. So, if I only watch the teeth and not the girl, what happens? The dispassion happens. You wouldn't like it. Like when you were to go to Tina and you were to sit in her clinic, what would you see? She will ask, open the mouth, and she takes something and keeps on cleaning the teeth, which is horrible to look. And nobody loves any teeth. If you were to take this up, it looks disgusting. Because the lips is covering this and this, it looks better. Minusing the lips, it's horrible to see. Like that. I don't know, Harry, what are you trying to do with your teeth?
No, I'm just seeing it. Yeah, I'm just thinking maybe that's why in America they put so much emphasis on fixing the teeth. If it's not fixed, then the dukkha or the ugliness can really be seen.
Exactly. So that's the whole idea. Doing something. So now coming back to this event, what is that I'm trying to gain out of it? What's that I'm trying to gain? I'm trying to gain the wisdom, which is abhinya. Seeing it in a different way. It's from two words, abhi and anya. Anya is different. Abhi is higher. Like Abhidhamma. The Dhamma is the teaching. Abhi is higher. and higher teaching like that. Abhinivesa. Vesa is the garb. Abhinivesa is taking in a very higher way the dress what you're wearing. So, abhinyaya, abhianya. Now, when you see it in abhianya, in a different way, that means what a different way? Hole or the teeth or whatever that is, and it creates that manasikara, which is yoniso manasikara. So it gets into asubha bhavana. All along, I was thinking this is a good thing to have. Now I get that asubha bhavana. Once I get the asubha bhavana, it turns out to be sambodha. Why? Now I see the dukkha of maintaining this. So I immediately get dukkha. Then I know the sankharas I have to make on a daily basis, not my sankhara, just the sankharas. So there's no abhisankharas any longer. It's only the sankhara. So the abhi is gone out of it. Because I'm seeing through light. So dukkha satcha is seen. So now I know the eyes are coming, which is dukkha. Ears are coming is dukkha. Nose coming is dukkha. The tongue coming is dukkha. The body coming is dukkha. Mind coming is dukkha. Then I know that the sights are dukkha. The sound is dukkha. The taste is dukkha. So now I know dukkha, which requires maintenance. So the jati pi dukkha is penetrated completely. Now I know what is jati, sanjati, okkanti, abhinibhatti, khandanam patu bhavo, ayatanam patilabo, ayam uchatananda jati. So now I know, oh my God, this whole mass of suffering, I am holding on to it. Who is holding on to it? In the chitta, it was holding. Now the chitta is no longer holding. Why? Because it has sati. It will not do this mistake again. So now, I not only have penetrated the dukkha satcha, I am also penetrating the dukkha samudaya satcha, which is how did this magic happen? Oh, this magician is the tanha. So that's the reason Buddha, in one of the watchful night, he recites that out of joy. Aneka jati samsaran sandhavisan aninbisan. And that's the reason he does that. All along, it had fooled him that there is somebody sitting inside. Now he has seen there's nobody inside. It is the perversion of the chitta, the perverted nature of the chitta. Now the perversion is not there. So sambhodaya, when it happens, it opens up what was holding like this. So the conditionality is gone forever. What is conditionality? This face is a conditionality. But the holes are no conditions, they are there. There's no ajhatta internal, absolute internal of mind and absolute external. With that going away, Nibbana is, what if I experience this all the time, 365 into 24? It's Arhat. Because there's no defilements. So nobody can fool me by saying that I am so and so person. Because that whoever is saying to me I am so and so person is only the 5 aggregates. There's no person there. He has to either define as a rupa, he has to define as a vedana, he has to define as a sanya, he has to define as a sankhara, define itself as a vijnana. Nothing else he can. So there's no coming and there's no going. It's the most easiest Most effective way to get into the Pariyatti, Patipatti, Pativedan. One way. Conscious, subconscious, unconscious, second way. Removing of Raga, Dvesha, Moha is the third way. In any one of these ways, if you see, you will attain Nibbana. Yes.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of this analogy. I feel like this whole process is like clearing out this huge warehouse of mind, which has so much defilement in it. And then when you go in, you take a small torch. And then the sati is very small. It just goes shining whatever it can see. But if you stay there, after a while, stuff start to come up and you can see them. And then you resolve them. And slowly, 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 the light getting stronger and stronger. Now you see more and more and more. Eventually, less stuff are coming. So you're more in that state all the time. Eventually, everything's lightened up and everything's cleaned up while you're free.
Exactly. So the attic, which was there, the attic was filled with a something called as a bonfire person. And everybody were fearing to meet this bonfire person, thinking that is a very dangerous person ever. Nobody used to go to the attic. But they used to fear that some ghostly creature is sitting there and you can't go. One fine day, like you are giving that torch, he takes a torch to see, he goes to the attic to see if somebody really is sitting there. Let me catch him. And he finds nobody is sitting there. What is being sitting is just the five elements and nothing else, in whichever form he takes. And then whatever he's talking is only feeling seen. And whatever is a perception he sees, that is just an empty perception. The sankharas will get unconditioned completely. Samatha happens. So he is having joy because the vijnana now is not going out of the six senses. So the unconscious existence is a conscious experience. So no longer you have you as a friend or an enemy. Whom will you fight? There's nothing. You have somebody like you. So you get compassionate and not anger, not jealousy, not pride, not this, not that. You just feel, wow, so much of suffering this person is taking because he's holding on to the rupa and saying, this is mine. He's holding on to the Vedana and says, this is mine. He's holding on to the Sanya and says, this is mine. My perception. It's nobody's perception. What is he perceiving? Holes, teeth, saliva, urine, feces, vomit, tears. What is he holding on to? Isn't it the most disgusting thing to hold in the first place? So the person gets really emancipated. So he can sing in joy. Nibiddhaya, viragaya, nirodhaya, upasamaya, abhinyaya, sambodhaya, nibbana. He can feel really at ease. Wow, this is what I found. So the practice of Maharahulavada Sutta or with Jina Panjara and that Duccharita Vipaka Sutta and all of this is to make sure the sati remains. That's the main thing. If the sati is not there, no matter how much I read, how much I try sitting in a cross leg posture, keeping the body erect, watching the breath, touching the nostril. As I breathe in, I know I'm breathing in. As I breathe out, I'm breathing out. After 2 minutes, nothing of that is there. Why? Because in the chitta, the scratching of the surface has not happened. So I am blocked. So I had to use a strategy. The strategy here is taking the breath and watching the 5 elements in that. One option. Taking the 5 elements like this whole and other things and watching it without judgment. Second option. Third option, I'm feeling very sensual. Why don't I watch the dead bodies and see where this craving is coming for sexuality, sensuality? The third thing. Fourth thing, no, I'm not able to get through it. Just like he says, look at a cow cut into 4 parts and he's putting in 4 crossroads. Can you make a cow out of it? In the same way, I cut a female, I cut a male, and I put it in 4 parts, not really physically, but not through imagination, through visualization. So the mind has an ability to visualize. So I visualize. So when I visualize, one side, the hair and the skull and the head, another side, only the chest portion, another side, the stomach filled with all kind of things, another side, the leg and all that. Now it is everywhere. Now can I assemble this assembled thing? Yes, Ashutosh.
Sir, I want to ask you what is the difference between imagination and visualization?
Good question. I thought somebody is going to ask me this. Imagination is to create, it's called kalpana in Pali and Sanskrit. It means that you bring in something which is not there. Visualization is a technique of seeing things as they are. So let's say I watch a video of autopsy. You are visualizing it, you are not imagining it. Now I watch 2 videos, close my eyes. Now I can do the same autopsy on my body, on my friend's body, on my wife's body, on my son's body, like that. Because now you can visualize. The Kasina method is a visualization method. You visualize. So you first see it, close the eyes, and create a counterpart image of that. In imagination, you are creating it without anything you are seeing out there. And that makes heaven and earth or a sky and a land a difference. Yes, Harry, go ahead.
I guess I'm just thinking about this AR versus VR. So I guess imagination is more like a virtual reality, which you completely get into virtual. But the visualization may be more like an augmented reality where you bring something and in this reality and try to make it real.
Yes. So good thing like the Vision Pro is more of a virtual reality. It gives you a false notion that really that screen is existing there.
imagination is a creation, no?
Yes,
And one
imagination is
I want
always a creation. You have to create.
visualization is not a creation.
No, it is never a creation. You can't create anything in visualization. You are just seeing as it is, but maybe with closed eyes.
But you also say something like you can visualize sitting with the Buddha, but the Buddha is not really there.
You are imagining it. So there are two ways of doing it. One is you have to create a nimitta to make animitta. So this is slightly deeper of what you are asking. So first you have to make a manasikara of everything. In the Chula Shunyata Sutta, if you see, that is visualization technique. It is not an imagination technique what is teaching there. So if you want me, if I have now a Buddha in front of me, if I want that Buddha to talk to me or guide me, what I should do is I should keep on watching that. So that will get imprinted in the consciousness. When it gets imprinted in consciousness, it becomes easy for me to visualize. That means I can carry that with me. Wherever it goes, that Jinapanjara Sutta is a visualization technique. It's not an imagination technique.
Okay, so in Jina Panjara or when you visualize as part of practice, or when you imagine, let's say, as part which is going to be with you as part of your practice, then it is visualization because I'm thinking. Because you are bringing it like augmented reality, right? Augmented reality, a part is imagination, but you have brought it to the reality. So the moment you bring it to something,
you are not imagining anything. So that's a wrong thing to put it. When you imagine, it comes with distortion. See, I'll just show you what I'm trying to talk. Maybe I can do like this. I think I can do this. Oh, shit. Doesn't. Leave it. So there is. I can do another thing. Yeah, 1 second, Ashutosh. Now I have this. Okay. Now this is visualization or it is imagination?
visualization.
So I can visualize. What I can imagine, that this is my Buddha, is an imagination. Right? Now what I can do is I can keep wherever it belongs. Okay. Now I have that. There is no Buddha out there. I can do in two ways. Let's see how it works. If I use the imagination way, it creates raga. That means instead of cutting raga, I'm adding raga to it. I don't want to have a raga there. I want a pure state of the mind. A pure state of mind is to visualize. Just like in the Chula Shunyata Sutta, he says, the village, you drop it. Even though you are sitting somewhere, he's saying Janapada, the people, you drop it. Amanasikara of that. And Manasikara of the forest. When we say Manasikara, it is mind made, but a reality. So when he says Yoniso Manasikara, Ayoniso Manasikara, both are mind made. But this has a purest in Yoniso and this is impure. But both are Manasikara only. So Manasikara Sambhava Sabbe Dhamma. Right? So now all Dhamma, whether it is called as visualization or you call it as imagination, both are happening in the Manasikara. But here you are watching it and you are closing your eyes and making that nimitta appear. You're not imagining anything there. I'm not making it this in a black color. I don't make it red and green and yellow and whatever paint I want to put on that because I don't like that black thing. And that is visualization. You're visualizing as is. So I go to the charnel ground. Let's say I'm visualizing the burning of the body. I'm visualizing. I'm not imagining there. I'm visualizing. That burning of the body I can bring it in my mind and say that, you know what, this body is going to be burnt one day. It's not your body. They will throw it out.
To an extent, all our memory are visualization only.
Yes.
Actually, we later create into words.
Yes, by
In my
imagining. Correct, correct.
in my meditation, I have observed that all I am recollecting, or when I am becoming more and more subtle, I realize that everything is a scenery only. There is no words, there is no talking.
Correct.
Everything comes up as nama rupa.
Right. Absolutely true. So that is the reason when we imagine, we are creating nama rupa and also the raga dvesha moha in that. When you are visualizing it, there is nothing you are creating. So you can see the bottom of the lake of mind. You can see it because you are visualizing it. So when I see this nose, I am literally visualizing it. Even if I close my eyes, this dirty nose is seen, the mouth is seen, the ear is seen. Even I've closed my eyes. Like in the Vipassana, when you go to the retreat, you are visualizing the sensation appearing in the body. You are not imagining any sensation appearing on the body. You are visualizing it and you are not reacting to it, but you are visualizing it. It's a real experience of something biting here, something burning there, something becoming cold or heat or whatever that is. That watchfulness is visualization. We will give a chance to Ashutosh. Yes, Ashutosh, you had to one question.
Yes, sir. I want to ask you, in the case of scientists, when scientists they want to discover something, suppose anything. So what we call, they are doing, they are what they are using, imagination
They
or
are not
visualization.
imagining, they are visualizing it.
Because suppose they are making some new product, new discovery, new, like suppose they
Yes.
are making some aeroplane. First time they are making it, a new kind of aeroplane.
Okay, so
So
I got
what
it.
will be?
I understand. So the first thing that happens is an idea. If you want, you write it down. First comes an idea. Why it is called an idea? Because it was never there in any form anywhere. So an idea comes. Idea is not imagination. Idea is an idea. It is visualized in the mind about a certain thing. And once an idea comes, it has to be put in force through concept. So when you create a concept of that idea, you need to define it. So now you have to have sankhya, which means you need to expand what it is. Okay. So when I have concept and I have an idea, I need to design it through art of visualization. So the human being's way of visualization is in geometric form. That's the way you can visualize. There's no other way you can visualize. So for everything, we put at geometrical figures. We put a circle, we put a triangle, we put a rectangle, we put something for that idea concept to be designed. So when the design is there, everyone can then visualize, not imagine. That means there's an acceptance to that design, or there is a modification request to the design. But irrespective of that, it is a visualization of how this product, how this home, how this kitchen, how that looks. So then you can use a three-dimensional way of representation, because now you have a design. Once you have a design, you require the 5 elements to be used to complete that design. So to bring it into the shape or the form. So you use the 5 elements to represent what was an idea. Since idea cannot be seen, you create a design to see that. And all this while the process, whether a scientist is doing or you are doing or anybody is doing, is the art of visualizing it. Now, what's the question of imagination? Imagination is not through idea. Imagination is through concept only. So you have a particular concept you have read and you're modifying based upon that concept and thinking that's an idea. So you're imagining something which doesn't even exist. I'll put some name to that. I'll put some writing to it and say that this is my concept. So when somebody says this is my concept, he's talking about a imagination because he cannot possibly design it. He cannot say what and how he did it. I'll give you a very practical example. Let's say I've read the Dhamma, too much of Dhamma. I think I know it. And somebody asks me, Vilas, I appreciate that you know it, but what's your practice? Now, this becomes trouble to me because I'm not able to design what I have experienced. It's there on theory. I can recite the sutta. I can explain the sutta. I can even do the etymology of that. I can go deeper into each one of these words and break it down and give entirety of that. But if somebody asks, good, 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 very nice. But what's your practice, sir? Can I know your practice? I can't explain. Because I've taken a concept, on that I modified it. So there's no experience. Yes. Yeah, very good.
Just like an example you used to give on someone describing what's the taste of an apple, or they themselves haven't tasted. They describe in different ways.
Yes, absolutely. So you keep on telling that. Why? Because it's just a concept. You don't have an idea of that. The basic thing is an idea. If it's your idea, meaning you have experienced something that is picked up, is visualized, it takes from end to end for you, meaning from an idea to reality. It exactly knows it. So you can make an idea come into a concept, and a concept into a design, and a design into the working model, because you own that idea. Like the Jina Panjara and this and that, how did I bring it up is because I have an idea of doing it, because it can be experienced. And I can say, oh, you're failing in Sati, you do this, because there's an experience backing it. So idea comes with an experience. The concept doesn't have an experience. I might borrow a concept, but I cannot borrow an idea. Got the point? So I can read the Buddha Dhamma and I can borrow the concept. I can say that, this is anicca, this is dukkha, this is anatta. Anatta means this, dukkha means that, this one. So I can create my own conceptual understanding. And that conceptual understanding is in a way called as an intellectual understanding. So when I say I have an intellectual understanding, what I mean to say is that I have only the concept. I know the concept, but I have no idea. I'm using this word idea. No idea on how this works. Because the missing piece is the idea is not there. And since idea is not there, concept cannot work. If concept cannot work, the design cannot work. There's no design. You can't practically show how it is. If somebody asks, Vilas, can you tell me what is dukkha? How to experience? I will be repeating what is there in the sutta. And the person will say, sir, this even I know. But how have you experienced dukkha? And I'm stumbled because I don't have an idea. So we use another word. We say no clue. Why? Because there's no idea. The missing puzzle is the idea. So any technological advancement whoever does has an idea. Like Steve Jobs, he had an idea how to make this into that. Like any product development, anything that has come, whether small, big, medium, whatever it is, before it turned itself into 5 elements, there was an idea. Before I came into the womb, I had an idea of what I want to become. Bhava. And hence jati has happened. Because I have an idea. This idea comes in 3 parts. One, I have raga for that. One, I have dvesha for that. One, I have moha for that. And hence, that idea created a concept of life. And in that concept of life comes the design based upon the merits or the demerits. So the shape of the body, the size of the body, the height and weight and etc. are defined in where? It's defined in the idea. When it is merged with the 5 elements, it takes the shape. Now I have a shape. This is the shape. What the idea has taken to do what it has to do now. It's a product. So the product undergoes metamorphical changes. So it is changing. So it goes into end of life. So this product is sitting and talking right now goes into end of life. Why? Because the idea cannot be sustained for long. It has to go through revisions. So the design has a flaw. It will always have a flaw. Because somebody else will bring a better concept and that the concept cannot be designed. So now this design is of a older model. So it has to be, it by itself get destroyed or somebody will destroy it. Right? Yes, Sachin, you wanted to say something, I guess.
No, it means if it is realized or realizable, then it is visualization in
Yes.
that sense. Right?
Yes.
If you have idea, that means you can realize it.
Yes, you can realize it. Yeah. Once you realize it, that's the reason it's called as self-realization. You realize it. Oh.
And when you imagine, you already know that you will never be able to realize it. For example, I may imagine that I am flying.
Yes. But you can't realize.
Yeah, and I know at the time of imagination also.
Yes.
There is no technicality in it.
Yes. So imagination is only a conceptualization. Yes.
So I guess the visualization has sutta in it because it's experienceable. Hence there's a
It is experienceable. Idea is an experiential reality. How? It turns itself into a manifested state of existence. It's a manifestation. Everything that is developed by you is a manifestation through an idea. Either I had an idea, or you had an idea, or somebody had an idea, but that idea only this is created. Not through concept. To explain the idea, you require the concept, but concept by itself has no reality. Yes.
I guess I have a small curiosity. I mean, no one really visualized themselves being burnt by the fire all over and over and again, right? but they still get into that idea which got them into born in hell. So I'm curious how exactly that's
No, it is
created.
this way. See, because of the delusion, you create something called as Maya. In Pali also the word used is Maya. Maya upamancha vinyanam. So the Maya is treated as magic, but actually Maya is not magic. There's no English absolute word for Maya. Maya is a deceptor, an illusion creator. So what happens here is that I tell lies, I steal, I kill, I do this out of an illusion that somebody is up against me. Got the point? Or I'm going to lose something. That's a state when this whole thing looks Maya, meaning an illusion has taken over, which creates a deluded state of the mind. So the idea which is coming is distorted idea into a concept. Same idea, there's no difference here. The idea is the same, but it is distorted. It's not real. Yes, Ashutosh.
Sir, I want to ask you one more question regarding this imagination and visualization. I was reading a Jain koan. So one of the Jain koan, how it said that listen the sound of the one hand clap.
Is what?
So listen the sound of one hand clap.
Okay. One hand
Clap.
clap. Okay.
One hand clap. So what is it? What they are trying to say here? What we are doing? We are using imagination or visualization.
It is indeed an imagination looking as though it is visualized. Now, when should you imagine and when you should visualize? There's the benefit of imagination also. So don't think that imagination is bad. The first mode is visualization and the second mode is imagination. So when you want to have a testimony of someone, and like now we are reading Buddha Dhamma and there's a testimony. There is Deva realm of existence. So is that a visualization or is it a imagination? It's an imagination. Why? Because I've not experienced it. I'm going by testimony. Because I have faith in Buddha Dhamma Sangha, and when I see that the devatas have coming here and Indra has come here and so many other deities have come, Brahma has come, and they have spoken to the Buddha, I have only two choices: either to make it as fabricated and I don't believe it, which again creates visikiccha. So, but I don't have visikiccha. That means I have accepted to the fact that Buddha would have experienced it, not that Buddha is not experienced it. So, having known that he has experienced it, I have faith in him. And now I'm imagining that it is true. I don't have an idea of how I can get into a Deva realm of existence. Now, in my case, 2019, now I don't have an imagination, I have a visualization because I've seen it. So before 2019, I need to imagine. And after 2019, I can visualize it because I've seen it. So now, if I've seen it, I've seen it. Now, can I produce it? No, but I have an idea how it is. So now I can make the concept clear to myself. This is Deva realm. This is Brahma realm. This is what is the Preta realm. This is what is the Hell realm. Now I know the concept. How one goes there and how one goes down. And because of that, I can design it in my mind. The only thing I can't do is to put it in the 5 elements. So, imagination is something where you go by testimony. Visualization is one where you self experience. So, there is one sutta, I think it is in the sailor between the, what's that? There is a army commander. I think it's in the some Vagga I was reading. So then this commander of the Vajjans, he meets the Buddha and he asks some questions, and then he says that for these I don't require to have a saddha in the Buddha, because I know that bad things will result in bad results, good things result in good results. For this, I don't require to go with the Buddha as a faith, because I myself know it. That's not imagination. That is visualization. He has visualized that good things give good result, bad things give bad result. But then he says, for this one, I have to go by the faith. Which one is that? The beings appearing in different realms, I don't have experience of that. So I need to go by the faith in the Buddha, because I myself have not seen. He can imagine it, but he might not see it. Yes, Ashutosh.
So, sir, we can say that when we are using visualization, we can say that we are doing yoniso manasikara, correct? And when
No,
we are
no, no.
using,
You are again bringing a concept. See, the Yoniso Manasikara or Ayoniso Manasikara is not the thing. In the Chitta, you have that idea. What is that idea? This is this, and this is that. That is called as an idea. So the Chitta knows it, or the Vijnana knows it. And when it knows it knows how to convert that. When you import it from someone, that Chitta doesn't know it. You are force fitting that in the Chitta. Like what we are force fitting today. That we were never introduced to Buddha Dhamma. Somewhere the fire was there on the Buddha Dhamma, so it got kindled up, meaning the idea came, just kindled up. For whatever reason. I listened to the Dhamma, whatever. Yes, are you?
I guess a very simple example I can think of is if we say apple, it's not, it requires no imagination because we've seen it many times.
Yes.
But when we say nibbana, until one has experienced it, it remains to be an imagination until one experiences it, and it becomes,
Correct.
you can visualize it.
Yes, you can visualize. That's a very good analogy. Correct. So I think that would answer to his question. It's a very straightforward example. Okay, so it's already 10:07. So we can go for hours together, but let's end for today. And again, anyway, we're meeting tomorrow at 9 o'clock, so we can continue. So conclusion of this is that first and foremost is that we need to cut. And a cut is on the recording surface. Something has got recorded on that. So we have to use something else to remove that recording. What is getting recorded? What we are getting recorded is what is untrue is getting recorded. Meaning, what is imagined is getting recorded. What am I imagining? Wife is an imagination. Husband is an imagination. All relationships are an imagination. They are not real. They're just imagined. Can you visualize a husband? No. Can you visualize a wife? No. You'll find a human being, but you will never find a wife. It's imagined in the mind. Oh, I have a wife, I have a wife, I have a wife. Oh, show me your wife. He will bring and show, this is my wife. And the child comes, hey mom, where did wife go? Ah, that's right. Where did wife go? If the child says, hey mother, hey mom, how are you? And at that moment, where did the wife go? It's nobody asks. At one time, one experience. So when the wife is getting experienced to that female, she can't experience mother. If she is experiencing mother, she cannot experience wife. If she herself is a daughter for somebody and her mother calls, she will neither experience the wife or she will experience the mother. She will experience daughter. Then, if her brother calls, she will experience sister. At that moment, she can't experience being a mother, being a wife, being a daughter. And if her neighbor calls her, she will neither experience all these four. She'll experience as a neighbor. Then her friend calls her, she will experience only as a friend. This stupidity is what mind made is. It's imagined in the consciousness. So letting go of that is freedom. That's Nibbana. In short, is that an imagination? Yes. Is that a visualization? No. Why? You can't visualize a wife. Because you have no clue or no idea what is a wife. It's a role. It's a role play. No reality can be done in a role play. It's a role play anyway. It's a movie. Just think it over. You'll come to see that you are imagining it, not visualizing. So the office is an imagination, not a visualization. I, being a software developer, is an imagination, not a visualization. Tomorrow I can become an architect. Then what happened to the software developer? Dead and gone. Who gave me? The letter, the promotion letter says that I am now an architect. Oh wow, to become an architect. It's an imagination of the mind. Can you visualize architect? No, it's a concept. It has no reality. Yes, are you?
I guess only the four paramata, what's the word? The reality can be visualized.
Yeah,
The
Rupa, Chitta, Chetasika, and Nibbana. So, if I cut out the concept, then everything is done. Reality is conceptless. So, no papancha sanya, sankha. So, nippapancha equals nibbana. Papancha equals samsara. Okay, so that's the food for thought. We'll meet tomorrow. Sachin, Naveen, Ashutosh, any questions you have? No questions. All clear. Okay.
Sir, I have so many questions, and I will ask you tomorrow because I
Okay.
have so many questions to ask you.
Okay. So then you keep all that in
So,
your,
lady,
yeah, you keep all in your notepad and tomorrow you can ask me.
Yes, I will ask you tomorrow.
Okay. All right, Aryu, good day to you. Bye bye. Good night.
Good
Good
day.
night, sir.